Sup, guys? It's Alexander here, and another review. And we're doing Psyren today by Toshiaki Iwashiro from Shonen Jump. This one I've been really excited to do because it's one that's kind of fallen on the radar. It's gotten a little more popular too, with some people talking about it, but I think for the most part, most people really haven't heard of it. And so I'm really excited to talk about it. Hopefully, get a bit more attention. Uh, so, um, Plot is kind of interesting without giving because this is actually kind of a short series. It's only 16 volumes, and I own all of them. So, um, it's kind of hard to talk about. But like the main story pretty much involves the main character named Agiha Yoshino right here. He's the guy on the front pointing at you, and the girl behind him too is kind of a main character named Sakurako, and they're both high schoolers, just living their lives. Sakuroko's kind of like a recluse, kind of reading her books and staying away from everybody. And Yoshino's kind of like her childhood friend, and grew up as kind of like distant now. And he's become kind of a bit of a troublemaker, beating up people for on other people's behalf for money and doing things like that. But he pretty a whole typical troublemaker kind of thing, delinquent. But one day Sakurako calls out to him needing help, and she just disappears for a while. And he goes on a journey that leads him to this uh, secret society called Psyren. And pretty much what involves then is absolute craziness because it involves giving out too much time travel and psychic powers. And it's just awesome. And that's kind of like the rough start up to this whole series, and it's really cool. Anyway, um, let's talk about the art just really quick, because I actually really, find it kind of interesting, because, like, the art style is, like, nothing, like, super, like, breathtaking, but some of the set scenes are pretty cool, and, like, it's, like, some of the use of powers, and, like, how they look, and how they, like, visualize them is pretty cool. And, like, the aesthetic in general, I would what I at least get out of it. I don't know if anybody else noticed. Like, reminds me very much of like Bleach, like Tite Kubo type stuff. And I think that's really cool because I really like Tite Kubo's stuff. So seeing this other like kind of like not really like bastardization of style. I guess no, that's a bad way to put it. I'm sorry. Just like kind of like a take on it almost, like someone's own like weird like tweak to it. That style, I really like it. I think it's really cool and adds really cool like kind of groundness, but also still like visual flair to everything. I think it's really cool. Let's see, and moving on to the themes of this story. Well, like I said, it kind of deals with time travel and like where humanity heading to like things, and it's kind of like to put it into like a phrase from one of my favorite movies, no fate but what we make. That future isn't always set in stone, and that we're able to change it, no matter how bad things can seem. Even if we think we know where it's going to head, as long as we struggle against things, we can always change them, even in the worst situations. And it's really, I think, pretty well fleshed out in that regard. Um, let's see. I guess the one criticism I can say um, at least for me, it's concise. And concise meaning like, it's short but sweet. It's got a lot of information it packs in pretty well, and it doesn't deviate much from the main plot, and sticks really well close to it and gets it resolved pretty fast. And I think it wraps up pretty well in its 16 volumes, but there are some characters I think I would have liked to see a bit more fleshed out at times. Like, some of the villains and some of the, heroes, things like that. But for the main cast, I think for the most part, they nailed it. But, I guess that's the only one thing I can say. I don't know why. it was, given the boot so soon. It's only 16 volumes, but, you know, it is what it is. I know it does have a one novelization, which takes, has a bunch of like short side stories involving some of the other characters, like, what happens in certain things and offshoots of certain chapters and what happens after some of the events of the series and things like that. But I don't think it's been translated. But anyway, yeah, this is a major recommendation for me. Yeah, I think it's got an interesting setup for a shonen series and executes it pretty dang well. It's got good, nice art. Again, short but sweet, and it's got some really fun action with that. Plays with that at all, and it just ties it all together. And I think it's just a great freaking under not appreciated but missed series that flew under the radar of a lot of people and could have been something really cool that people will be still talking about. But hey, that's what we're always here for, other people to make videos about it and get the word out there. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. All right, talk to you guys next time. Bye.